Hello again, this is Sam Houston, and welcome to My Front Porch. Dealing with disappointment. When I was perhaps 8 or 9 years old, the Shriners Circus came to town. This was the early 60s, so I think the event was a lot bigger deal then than how it would be viewed today. After all, we didn't have cable TV, PlayStation, Xboxes, or the internet. And so the allure of a circus was a pretty big deal for a young boy. I was so young that I wasn't absolutely sure what a circus was. My understanding from my older sister was that there would be clowns, trapeze artists, and some really cool animals, and that everyone would be dressed up in costumes. There would also be hot dogs and popcorn and something called cotton candy, which I had previously never experienced. I did understand that it was an adventure I certainly wanted to be a part of. My dad was a hard-working man and came from a background where money was simply not spent on frivolity like going to a circus. Not saying that Dad wanted to deny his kids, but he was working night and day to keep food on the table and clothes on our back. He did not see the need to spend money on something unnecessary like going to the circus. It just made no sense to him. He was a no-frills sort of guy, and according to Grandma, he was that way even when he was a kid. I think it had something to do with growing up in the Depression. Now, my mom was a different story. She wanted us kids to experience everything we could, but she was frugal enough that she knew that she should stay within the family budget. As I grew older, I came to understand she went without many things for herself to make sure her kids got better than just the necessities of life. She was that kind of woman. Maybe I didn't know it at the time, but as I grew older and realized what she'd done, it made me love her even more. When my sisters and I asked Mom if there was even a possibility of attending the circus, she commented how expensive the tickets were, and she wasn't sure if we could afford it or not, but she said, "We'll see." Being told she would see was mom talk, and that could mean a variety of things. It might mean she'd already decided not to do something and was simply getting us kids out of her hair until she was in the right frame of mind to tell us no. On the other hand, it might mean she had to do some serious thinking of how she could make it happen. My 8-year-old self could not decipher which way she might be leaning on this occasion, but I knew enough not to pester her and to simply wait until she decided. Much to my joy, a couple of days later, Mom announced that she had bought tickets to the circus for her and us 3 kids. Dad respectfully declined to attend. In the back of my mind, I sort of knew that there only been enough money for 4 tickets, so Dad stayed home so us kids could go. Not sure where the money came from that paid for the tickets, but I did notice that we ate considerably more spaghetti marinara over the next couple of weeks, and that there was an absence of things like store-bought cookies or treats. On the day of the circus, I woke up wondering with excitement what time we would leave home and go to the fairgrounds. The day could not pass fast enough. About noon, I noticed it started to cloud up outside. I never gave it much thought, but as the afternoon got later, the sky started turning angry. By the time we should be leaving to go, it was a full-out deluge, raining so furiously that it was hard to go see the other side of the road from the bay window in the front room. Mom then made an announcement that made my heart sink lower than I thought possible. The rain and the lightning were so fierce that the radio had proclaimed the circus was canceled for the evening. I was mortified. I'd been so excited to see my first circus that the disappointment overwhelmed me. I remember stomping my feet and wanting to lash out at whoever controlled the weather. Then my sweet mother came up beside me, led me over to the sofa, and sat down. In a very calm voice, she explained to me that life would be full of disappointments. She went on to make clear that sometimes disappointments happen, and all we can do is go on. Being upset didn't cure anything. It only made the situation worse. Admittedly, I was so young I didn't really grasp the totality of the lesson my mother was trying to teach me. But here, all these years later, her voice still echoes in my brain. There have been a lot of disappointments that entered my world since that day, and I've tried to always remember what Mom told me. Appreciate and celebrate all things in life, and the disappointments won't seem to be nearly as catastrophic. Thought for the day: disappointments are inevitable. Discouragement is a choice. Charles Stanley. Until next time, I'll keep riding the storm out.
You've been listening to From My Front Porch with Sam Houston. Brought to you by the Granbury Theater Company. You can catch Sam's column every week in the print edition of the Gatesville Messenger or online at gatesvillemessenger.com.